Welcome back. This is one of my favorite topics about ideas, about new ideas, and that is the short startup story. So, I like to give this quote from Richard Powers, who said, "The best arguments in the world won't change somebody's mind. The only thing that you can do is a good story, or the only thing that can change someone's mind is a good story. Stories help." I am a professional speaker, and I can tell you that I can see when I get the audience attention, and it is typically when I tell a story. So, what is a good story? A good story is something that starts with why. Now, this is not the Simon Sinek starts with why. It just, when you start with why you're doing what you're doing, people really care more about it. It is simple and it is emotional. If you have these three elements in your story, you're going to get the attention of whether it's your customer or an investor, which we'll talk about later. Now, what do you think is the shortest story that you can tell? So Ernest Hemingway once was sitting in a bar or a pub or something, and he overheard somebody says, what's the shortest story?" And somehow he got into this contest, this argument, and he said, "I can write a story in 6 words." So he was challenged, "Can you write a story in 6 words?" And he wrote this: "Baby shoes for sale, never used." Think about it for a minute. That's a short story. You can write a story in 6 words. I'll show you a few examples later with the relationship to businesses. So, what's your startup story? Your startup story has a target, and it's actionable. It's a universe of buyers. It's who is it that you're targeting. Segment. It is the attribute that makes your customers unique. It's why are those customers your customers. Brand, the name of your company. It has a category, which is a competitive frame for the buyer. What is it that the buyer is after? So now we're not what's special about the buyer, but what is it that they're after? A distinction, what makes you or your product or your service unique? And then proof, a perceived evidence of proof at least. So here is why I think that I am that distinct. In the bottom is a link to an article that describes this in greater detail. So essentially, it looks something like this. Now, I'm giving you a formula. You don't have to stick to this formula. But this formula is a good example of telling a story that has all those 6 components. So for target, those are the specific customers that you have. Who are, what's unique about them, the segment. Brand, that's you, that's us, that's your company. Provides the category, what is it that's unique about your offering, with distinction. I'm sorry, that's what's unique. The category is the overall what is it that they're after. The distinction is what is unique about you or your offering because of, and this is where your proof comes in. This is, or at least the perceived proof. So let's see what BMW has done. BMW said this: for drivers, that's our target, who value performance. We are not after drivers who value safety, or although I had BMWs and they're very safe, but we're not after people who value safety above all, or fuel or gas mileage or anything else. We are after drivers, the general target, who value performance. That's what makes our specific customers unique. BMW, that's us, that's our company or your company, provides luxury vehicles, that's the category that we're in, that deliver joy. That's what we do that's unique, through German engineering, and German engineering has its own brand. I mean, when people think about German engineering, they think about something that's very reliable, that's very accurate, and so on. Swiss engineering, very accurate. Timepieces, anything related to time, you would probably use Swiss engineering if you had Swiss engineering. So this is an example of a story. Now, there's a book that I would like to recommend to you called Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. So You may want to wait a little because I believe that soon 2.0 is coming out. The book 2.0 is not out yet, but it should be coming out soon. And I don't know, maybe you're watching this video, the book has already came out. And Donald Miller talks about 7 components of a story. So it's a little slightly different perspective or framework of what a short story is. Number 1 is the character or the hero. And who do you think the hero is? No, it's not you. It's the customer. The customer is the hero. The hero has a problem. That's the second component. Meets the guide. You are the guide. And he uses in the story, he uses Star Wars, and he talks about Luke Skywalker being the hero, and Obi-Wan Kenobi is the guide. The guide gives a plan. Here is how I can help you solve your problem. Here is how I can solve your problem. Calls him or her to action. You need to do something that would avoid failure and achieve success. So these are the 7 components of Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. So that would be another source of a short story that I would recommend. But you know, we started with a 6-word story. Can you tell a business story in 6 words or less? So I looked at some of the biggest brands that we know and look at what they have. Nike, just do it, 3 words. Apple, think differently, 2 words. Adidas, impossible is nothing, 3 words. Toyota, let's go places, 3 words. Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin', a whole 4 words. FedEx, when it's absolutely positively, has to be there overnight, a little over 6 words. But you can see where McDonald's, I'm loving it. BMW, the ultimate driving machine, 4 words. So you can see, I like one, I don't see it here, Dove. Dove is a firm, a brand that makes soap. And one of the things that they I wouldn't say brag about, but that they focus on is that their brand is not, you know how typically everything to do with beauty and cosmetics, typically you have supermodels, male or female, in your commercials, and they don't. They try to bring it's for everyone, and I love that the words that they're using. Again, think about it. It's cosmetics, it's soap, and they're trying to convey the message that it's for everyone. It's not for supermodels. It's not for the prettiest people on earth. And so it goes, Dove for people with skin. It's skin products for people with skin, which essentially says it's for everyone. It's not for the best looking ones. Anyway, you are going to be required, and it's going to be part of your assignment this week and your final project, to come up with a short story that would tell your story and meet all the 6 components of a story. I'll see you in the next video.